Everyone, Jay here at the Orleans Riverside Hotel at the Disney Resort. The flight was a bit crazy. We had a delay because of a thunderstorm, so can't plan for that. But we got in the resort relatively easily. I think one of the biggest problems we ran into was the luggage service because of a weird desk person over at LAX. My bag service tag got removed, but the other bag we were checking, it stayed on, and I got my bag to the room basically with no real problems, and our other bag arrived at the room at almost midnight. So now granted, we did the delayed plane flight, so I'm sure it would have got in a bit sooner than that if the whole flight thing had gone well. But just bear in mind that you're not going to control when your bag arrives. So if you say you packed your bounds in there or some important stuff in there, you might want to just take care of it yourself. In fact, I've decided for any further trips out here, I'm just taking care of my bag myself because I like having it with me and I like the idea of bringing it directly to my room, especially if I want to change. I mean, all my toiletries were in there, all my changes of clothes were in there, so if I didn't have it and I wanted to shower, I'd have to wait until midnight to shower. But, okay. Anyhow, using the little band thing here, here's mine. It's kind of food themed because that's what this channel is. I wanted one based on the Star Wars because they're so Star Warsy. Just kidding. I don't want the Star Wars band. I actually prefer this one. This works pretty well. I mean, you basically can bing it to get onto the shuttle over to your hotel, and you do that in the airport. When you get in the hotel, you bing it again to activate it and to get your room, and it basically does everything. It's your room key. Pretty convenient. I actually really like it. We'll probably discuss these a bit more post-trip because I'm kind of curious about kind of how well it works throughout the entirety of the trip. As for this trip, my bounds I've decided on are kind of an odd mix, some of which are things I've done before, like Hyena from Lion King. And which hyena I am, I guess I'm Bonsai, because that's the one whose name I remember, so I'm Bonsai. I actually brought a brand new bound of Spider-Man because of the Rock and Roller Coaster. Fun fact, the lead guitarist of Aerosmith is the guy who wrote the theme to the 90s cartoon. I think his name is, I'm going to say Joe Perry, and I'm sure I messed up his name and someone's going to yell at me, but I think it's Joe Perry. And I brought, of course, a couple Kingdom Hearts things, Zenmus, Axel, and premiering, finally, King Mickey. In addition to John Carter from Mars, because I needed something when going on Mission Space, or as I call it, Mission: Space. Because, yeah, I'm doing that hardcore mode, and there will be a whole vlog before and after, I assure you. And I probably have one or two other things in there. It's a little late, and I don't remember, but the nice part about bounds versus cosplays for packing is that it's just shirts and pants and whatever that you're going to wear anyways. So what you end up having is, regular clothes in there versus, a costume that's 6 different layers or, oh, and I need to take the tonfas or I need to take the blaster gun or whatever. No. it's all my outfits were designed with the heat and the crazy humidity in mind. So they're all either short sleeve shirts or they're button-up shirts I can roll up. A little bit of headgear, but otherwise, there's some cool stuff I could have done with my jackets. I'd love to have brought Thumper out here. I have a different variant of King Mickey I actually really want to do, and I'll probably do it for Dapper Day, Fall Dapper Day, whenever that is. And I like all the suit type stuff that I have. My leather jacket's always a fun accessory to mess around with, but I'm glad I can kind of do more relaxed stuff and it doesn't take too much room in my luggage. My luggage was actually relatively light. It's a nice change of pace. And so, yeah, it's working pretty good. I'm just feeling really worn out. It was a long flight plus the delay and then waiting to get the luggage. But for those who care about my eating, I do have the meal plan and there will be meals as referenced in the previous video. And here we end up going over to the little food court they have at the hotel, and we got one of the little pasta dishes they offered, but they were closing up, and unfortunately the food I wanted was already done. The other place that I could have gotten, the other counter to get food was done. All it was left was the place with the Italian food, and they were really nice. They basically comped my food, so I didn't even have to use my food point on my watch thingy. So I got flatbread pizza, which was pretty good, and some free breadsticks and a free drink. And they literally write on it, on Mickey, which is kind of cool. It's just they have their own way of saying gratis for people who got here a little late. And, it's like, oh, we're closing everything up. This is all we have left. And I was like, sure. I just need something on my stomach because it's been a rough day. And so, yeah, it worked out pretty well, actually. It's just kind of at a point now where I just feel like I just want to pass out. Which is good. It'll get me more adapted to the time if it's already, midnight and I'm feeling like it's bedtime because, that's kind of normal for the West Coast. So, yay, that. Though I'm also feeling a little wired. Don't know if you've ever had that whole I'm exhausted but I can't sleep kind of thing. It's kind of what I'm feeling now. But I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be hitting up Hollywood Studios, and we'll be going to the Villains After Dark Hades night party, whatever the proper term for it is. I'm looking forward to that one because we don't have one of those on the West Coast. And I really do like the Disneyland After Darks. I find them to be really, really enjoyable, but sometimes a little too expensive. Isn't that right, Haunted Mansion After Dark? So, until the next one, continue to eat the magic. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell, and like this video because we really, really want the engagement. And we hope all you who are enjoying this saga of Jared Goes to the East Coast isn't even really something that's out of the ordinary when you come to think of it. But my first time at Disney World for sure. If you're enjoying the saga, thank you very much, and there will be more videos coming very soon.